Does public speaking terrify you? Or are you one of the rare individuals that can just get up in front of a crowd and give a speech without any nervousness or fright? That person that can stand up in front of any audience without a worry in the world? Everyone seems to know someone like that, but one has to wonder, do they possess a talent that was taught? Or were they simply born with it? Public speaking is known to be the second greatest fear amongst human beings next to death. Also known as glossophobia, the fear of public speaking can be attributed to a number of underlying reasons such as the fear of judgment, the fear of failure, or just a simple fear of rejection. Being able to conquer this fear can be a very powerful tool in succeeding in life. In fact, Warren Buffett, the world's most successful investor, credits his Dale Carnegie public speaking course he took while at Columbia University back in the 1960s as his greatest asset to accumulate wealth. Being able to effectively communicate in a group setting can prove as a gateway to personal and professional growth. While many people find the thought of speaking in a large group daunting, it's a skill that can be cultivated over time. In this video, I'm going to share 10 effective tips that will aid in mitigating this fear while making you a more confident and compelling public speaker. The first is know your audience. Be fully aware of your audience's knowledge level, interest, and expectations to tailor your speech or presentation to their needs. If the material that needs to be covered is uninteresting to the audience, such as a mandatory training session, make an effort to use humor to lighten the mood and to keep the people's attention. Next involves the structure of your speech. Be sure to organize your presentation with a clear introduction, main points, conclusion, and chance for any questions. Use a logical flow to connect the subject matter. The third tip is practice. This may go without saying, but practice is key. Rehearse your speech multiple times and even record yourself if you have time. Familiarity with your material and being able to articulate the sound of your voice will boost your confidence and help you remember key points. The next is eye contact. Make an effort to make eye contact with different people throughout the room. Try to scan the room while you are speaking, looking for interested parties to make eye contact with. This can create a sense of connection and engagement with your audience. The fifth tip, and possibly the most important, is the use of pauses. The use of pauses can emphasize important main points and give your audience time to absorb information. Don't be afraid of silence. Try to avoid filler words such as like, and so, as this can distract the audience from your message. You can practice this by being mindful when speaking to someone in a casual setting. Try to use pauses instead of the filler words. The next involves visual aids. If you're using slides such as a PowerPoint presentation, keep the subject matter simple and relevant. Don't overload your audience with information and try not to read the information verbatim. Visual aids are just that, aids, and it should not sound like you are just reading a book or article to your audience. Also, it is a good practice to have a dry run of your presentation in the actual room of where you will be presenting so that you are certain your audience will be able to easily see the information on your slides. The seventh tip is control your body language. Stand tall, maintain good posture, look confident, and use gestures to emphasize your point. Avoid fidgeting or constantly shifting weight from one foot to another. Next, speak clearly and at a reasonable pace. Enunciate your words and use pauses to your advantage. Also, it can be beneficial to vary your tone of voice and pitch to keep your audience engaged. Don't rush through your speech and speak at a pace that allows your audience to digest what you're saying. When you are practicing, go as far as timing your speech to see if it coincides with the allotted time that you are given. The next tip, and possibly one that's overlooked, is be prepared for questions. Make sure you have done enough research on the subject matter to effectively answer basic questions. And don't hesitate to say, "I don't know." If you're unsure of an answer, it's better to admit a small level of ignorance than give out false information. And lastly, seek feedback. After your speech, ask for feedback from trusted colleagues or friends to identify areas for improvement. Ask them if they could hear you clearly or were you guilty of using those dreaded filler words or stuttered. If you are worried about a certain aspect of your speech, seek their feedback directly. You may be surprised that the only one that had an issue with a certain point was you. They may not have even noticed it. Remember, public speaking is a skill that improves with practice and experience gained over time. Just know that the only way to get good at something like public speaking is to just take it head on and to just do it. And be expected to fail, at least in your mind, and remember to be mindful of the mistakes you made in the past so you do not repeat them in the future. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to the channel. And leave a comment down below on other techniques you find helpful when giving a speech or addressing a large group of people. Thanks for watching.